A couple weekends ago, I had a long conversation with a friend of mine who had returned back to our sleepy little town to move to Minnesota, Twin Cities, wherever that place is. God, I can't, for some reason, I always get Minnesota and the other place mixed up, but I guess now it's just I know one place that starts with an M up north and I just forgot the other one. I've been friends with this guy since kindergarten, so we know each other pretty well. He's absolutely my favorite person to talk to, just about life and just other stuff that's going on with just our lives. He is very attentive, and I appreciate our conversations. It's kind of like Professor X and Magneto. We got on the subject of talking about us personally and how we've grown over the several years after high school, college, and now into adulthood. And I was able to tell him that I had always admired him. I am a person that, I don't want to say doesn't think highly of himself. I just feel like I have a lot of people that I look up to and have done great things, like move out of their their room that they've lived their entire lives. On that note, I look up to those types of people, which is kind of everyone now that I think about it. In high school, all of my close friends were in the upper echelon of intelligence, according to the school ranking. I was friends with like the number one, the number two, the number four, and like my friends were ranked 1 through 15. Me, even though my class was small, I was ranked number 69, which is funny in itself. But that specific number was the halfway point of what determined our class from being a student of our class being smart or more on the lesser side. I was literally the average. Average Joe, me, that's me to a T. So after we graduated high school, they all naturally went their separate ways. They went to big universities, moved away, and they all have achieved something great. And I absolutely admire that. In fact, I would even say that I strive to be more like them, which I know it's not a good thing to compare yourself to other people. You absolutely should not do that. Unless you do it like I do. I have some incredible people in my life that have made me who I am today, and it's not just me just saying that, just BSing that just because that's what everybody says. No, they have definitely pushed me to be a better person, and they haven't said or done anything. Like I said before, I admired my friends, my colleagues quite a bit. Some points I'm like, wow, I wish I could be more like them. I wish I could be more charismatic like them. I wish I could be more studious like them. I wish I could have more attention to detail like them. And just comparing all these things to me to them that you really honestly shouldn't. It would honestly make someone feel down about themselves, and it would honestly have the appeal of someone that does not have a whole lot of self-confidence in oneself, which I will be the first to admit in the past that I was not the most self-confident in my abilities. But at a certain point, about 2 years ago, I realized that yes, I admired my friends for all their accomplishments, and I'm extraordinarily proud of every single one of them, but that comparing them to me, I kind of flipped it on its head a little bit. I thought that, yeah, this is not a good thing that I should be comparing myself, my abilities, my place in life to these other people. That's not a healthy thing, and that's something you shouldn't do. But I thought differently about that, and I thought, how could I turn this essentially negative connotation of a thought process into a positive? How can I use this to reinforce my own life? I took a hard look at myself and a hard look at my friends, and I noticed how much I admired them for this aspect of them or this other aspect of this other friend. And instead of wallowing in self-pity thinking, man, I wish I could be like them, I kind of made it a point to think of that as almost as rivals in a sense. Now, we're definitely not competing in being charismatic or being intelligent. Believe me, I don't even know my multiplication tables. Ugh. But I use that almost as like a comparison chart, like a little note that you put on your wall that you look at when you wake up and say, hey, I'm gonna do like 10 push-ups today starting now. Kind of like a motivational poster in a sense, but it was my friends in those frames, on those posters, on those walls. And in doing so, I actually thought about things in my life like, how could I be more charismatic? What would this person think about this situation, and how would they deal with that? So looking up to these people and comparing myself in this mindset that I had was actually really beneficial for me. I didn't have any animosity towards them as like rivals, but I saw it as a not exactly a jumping off point or like this is the standard I should be at, but it's more things along the lines of, I see you doing that, I can emulate that, I can ask you questions about that, and I can work and strive to be like you, but only to better myself in that regard. So in a sense, yeah, I kind of saw these my friends as rivals, but really that just pushed me to strive to be better, and it's really helped me elevate different portions of just my personality, my abilities to do things and react to things, and ultimately I think it's really made me improve. Now, I've always considered myself a jack of all trades, so can do everything, but I'm not great at anything at the same time, which even to today's standards, I am a firm believer that I'm an average Joe. But I have nothing wrong with that, because that's an underdog, and for me personally, I love underdogs. It's the American way, in a sense. America was the underdog from British rule originally, then America separated from Britain, and we became our own country. So, yeah, I'm really American in that way, that I am the underdog, and I see myself as the underdog. That doesn't mean that I'm going to wallow away and wish, man, I wish I could be better, because I see all these amazing people in my life doing amazing, incredible things, and I strive to be like that, to match their level and to overcome even themselves and their own achievements in any way possible. So in a way, me comparing myself to them is really a blessing. And yes, I will still always and forever will be the underdog, average Joe. In a way, that makes me incredibly balanced, and I kind of like that about myself.